The metric system. Understanding the metric system is pretty easy if you understand what the various prefixes mean. For example, we have kilo, which means 1,000, hecto, which means 100, deca, if you think of a decade has 10 years, deca means 10. Then you have deci, which is 1/10. You have centi, and if you think of there's 100 cents in a dollar or 100 years in a century means 1/100th, and milli means 1/1000th. Now there are three base units in the metric system. There are meters, liters, and grams. Meters are used for calculating distances, liters for capacity, and grams for weight. And one way to remember the three base units is my large giraffe. So it'd be meter, liter, gram. So what exactly is a meter? Well, if you were to spread your arms, the distance, your wingspan would be approximately a meter, and a meter is a little bit larger than a yard. A yard is 36 inches, and a meter is about 39 inches, so it's slightly larger than a yard. Now, if we were to take those prefixes that we just talked about and attach them to the base unit meter, a kilometer, or a kilometer, would be 1,000 meters. If you take hecto and attach it to the word meter, it's a hectometer, you would have 100 meters. A decameter would be 10 meters. A decimeter would be 1/10 of a meter. A centimeter, which is very small, it's like the width of your finger, would be 1/100th of a meter. And a millimeter is really small. That's 1/1000th of a meter. You could think of that as maybe the thickness of a dime. So what is a liter? Well, when you're at the store and you've seen various beverages on the shelves, generally they come in liter bottles. And liters are used for capacity. Milliliters, which are 1,000th of a liter, you can think of an eyedropper. And depending on the size of the eyedropper, it can hold anywhere from 1 to maybe 10 milliliters. So let's take the base unit liter and let's attach our prefixes. So a kiloliter would be 1,000 liters. A hectoliter would be 100 liters. A decaliter would be 10 liters. A deciliter would be 1/10 of a liter. A centiliter would be 1/100th of a liter. And a milliliter, remember, that's a really small amount. It's like an eyedropper. That would be 1/1000th of a liter. Well, what about a gram, which is used for weight? Well, a gram weighs about the same as a paper clip or a small piece of chalk. And if you had 1,000 grams, that would be a kilogram. And that weighs 2.2 pounds, approximately 2.2 pounds, or perhaps the weight of your math text. So let's take the base unit gram and let's attach the prefixes to that. So we have a kilogram. That would be 1,000 grams, or 2.2 pounds. A hectogram would be 100 grams. A decagram would be 10 grams. A decigram would be 1/10 of a gram. And a centigram would be 1/100th of a gram. If you've ever had to take aspirin, it's generally measured in milligrams, and a milligram is 1/1000th of a gram. Okay, let's talk about abbreviations really quickly in the metric system. It's pretty easy. If you wanted to write the abbreviation for kilometer, it'd be K for kilo and M for meter. Hectometer would be H for hecto and M for meter. Now these two are tricky because they both start with D. Just remember that decameter, it has a K in it, and also the abbreviation for decameter has a K in it. You'll notice that decimeter has no K. So that's how you can tell the difference between deca and deci. Centimeter, that's easy, would just be C for centi and M for meter. And millimeter is MM, M for milli and M for meter. Okay, let's take a look at the abbreviations for these. A kiloliter would be KL, hectoliter HL. Here's our two prefixes that start with D. Remember, decaliter has the K. And then you have centiliter and milliliter. So that's pretty much all there is to the metric system.